YouTube, what's up? In this segment, I want to expose and explain how what most people say about choosing a niche and how to go about defining the niche and the area that you serve is completely wrong, and how I've discovered a different approach to this. And if we haven't met before, I'm Gio Pensino with One True Calling. And I've been an entrepreneur my entire life, and I have discovered that focusing your natural talents and your gifts into a particular area of the marketplace certainly is wisdom, and it is a thing that needs to be done. But here is the thing that I've discovered, is that most people talk about looking outside of themselves, to look into the marketplace, to see where the best opportunities are. And what I've discovered is that the jumping off place for defining an area that you want to focus your skills on and possibly create an online business around, or a coaching or a consulting practice around, is the exact opposite of that. What I say and what I've experienced is going inside to first discover what your natural gifts are and what your inclinations are, what you enjoy doing. And before I did a career transition in 2009 to the type of work that I do now as an online business coach, and almost a 20-year career as a landscape architect, built a company with a little over $12 million in sales. And this was the result of choosing and focusing my skills into an area that called me, and into an area where my natural interests were. And here is the strange and funny thing, that the area that I chose to focus on actually was an outgrowth of a kind of a somewhat of a traumatic experience that I went through. And I did come from an entrepreneurial family, and well, there was some trauma in that family, and my family split apart. We were a pretty large family. There was 6 of us kids and a mom and dad, but our family split apart when I was probably about 8, 9, 10 years old. And before that, to me, our family was a unit, and we worked together. We lived in a very rural location, but we worked together, and we had a number of different businesses: candy store, things I've talked about before, Mr. Softy ice cream truck. We had a water sports business, a lot of different things, and we were, like I said, pretty tight family unit. But then some things came along that caused my family to splinter, and everybody went into different ways. And it was in that challenge, in that traumatic experience, that later in life, when I finished graduate school and did some internship, worked for some other companies as a landscape architect, and then ultimately decided to build my own company. And I had to figure out, how to get good clients, how to get high-ticket clients. And initially, I thought that people would just fall all over me because I had a master's degree, and people would be like, "Oh, your degree and all this kind of stuff." But people don't really choose. They don't choose you because of your degree. In most cases, certainly when it comes to clients, they choose you for other reasons. And one of those primary reasons is the area that you decide to focus your skills on. We call this, choosing the niche. And back at the time when I founded my company, well, this conversation about choosing a niche wasn't such a big conversation. And so I just did what it is that I had learned to do previously to have success in business, was to kind of figure out who I enjoyed working with, and who could really afford to pay for the level of skills that I had. And so here's the thing, here's where the trauma, the family splintering, became the birthplace for me choosing which area to focus my skills on. I ended up focusing my company on outdoor living spaces. And, it was early in the interest for outdoor living spaces in terms of the marketplace when I started doing this. Well, now, everybody's doing outdoor living spaces. But here's the thing that caused me to make that choice. And it was a bit of an unconscious thing and a bit of a spiritual thing that grew out of that traumatic family experience of splintering apart. Well, there was something inside of me, and still is something inside of me that really wants to draw people together into community environments. And so, yes, I was very skilled with plantings and what most people think of, when they talk about, a landscape designer or landscape architect. They're always saying, well, let me tell you about my plants. And yeah, I was good at plants. I had a lot of, plant palette and skill in that area. But the thing that was inside of me that caused me to focus on outdoor living spaces was this desire to bring people together into those outdoor spaces. The home where I grew up, we didn't have like a fancy outdoor space. We did have kind of some cool things at the time. We had a pool that was right at the front door of our house, and we had a barbecue area, and people would come to our house. My cousins would come. My family would gather, and we would have these outdoor gatherings. And again, when the family split apart, it created something inside of me that has always been drawn to bringing people back together again. And so outdoor living spaces, that is the thing, the space in the outdoor environment to draw people together, to create the space for families to be together and to have space for entertainment, nestled into the garden and the outdoor space. So that is my example, from that profession. And like I said, my choice of focusing my niche in that area turned out to be a very smart choice, because outdoor living spaces, well, when you build your messaging around the thing that you are drawn to do, and this is what we call, defining the niche that you serve, then people understand you. You're able to create messaging that speaks to that particular area of the marketplace. So that's what we talk about. That's what I talk about when I say defining the niche that you serve. And again, what the approach that I recommend, what I found to be both very successful in that particular area, also in a previous career that I had, and now a career as a designer of online transformational programs. Well, guess what? I find this same thing has become my unique position, my unique point of view, but it comes from something inside of me. There's that place inside. And so this is what I suggest for you, is to look at the experiences that you've been to, both the good and the challenging, and particularly if it comes to developing transformational programs, the most powerful people that I've worked with to help build online group training programs come out of the challenges, the life challenges that my clients have been through. It is one of the most useful places to go look, because if you've been through a challenge in your life, and it doesn't have to be a trauma, but again, it can be a really good source. If you've made it through a health challenge, or a spiritual challenge, or a challenge around, whatever things that you've gone through in life, well, from your personal experience how to navigate through that challenge. And it can, again, relate to other things, physical type of things, like me in the landscape architecture field. So if you want to build an online group program that serves more people and gives you, a doctor level income and the freedom to work from anywhere, which is the primary thing that I help people to do. Well, the first place, like I said, is to go inside and to look at the experiences and maybe even the things that you've accomplished. Like maybe you've done something recently that, sometimes it doesn't seem like a challenge when we're on the other side of it. But if you've done something like, traveled to other places in the world, found out how to be an expat in some far-flung place, well, guess what? There's a lot of interest in that right now. And when you first do it, I know when I first traveled to Mexico, I was like thinking about not even going, but only because I had never done it before. And so to be a guide, to be a relocation expert, to be anything that helps people to navigate through the challenges that you've been through, that would be one of the first places that I would say to investigate for a niche that is going to create something that is beneficial to other people, but it's going to be connected to your own personal experience, and often something that you enjoy doing. Like I just loved, creating outdoor spaces. I did it for almost 15 years, a little more than 15 years, and those outdoor spaces were, they were large projects, very profitable projects, and to me, it was just something that I enjoyed doing. Not something easy to do, but I enjoyed doing it. And again, that is what creates the foundation for choosing a niche that you will enjoy doing, even if it is challenging, which it often is. It is challenging to get something off the ground, to make something from nothing when you're first doing it. Maybe you got to learn some new skills, some technology tools, and maybe social media marketing, different things like this. But that is, when you choose a niche that you enjoy serving and it comes from something that's inside of you, then you will have the motivation and the interest and the curiosity that will bring you through anything that you have to learn or to overcome. Now, here's a couple other places where you can also look, and I'm going to do another segment to dive deeper into this area of assessing what your natural gifts are, because that is the other source. And you can use tools like the Strengths Finder assessment test to kind of reveal what your natural gifts are. You can also use astrology, human design. These are a couple other paths that will get to the center of the things that you are naturally inclined to do. It's almost like, getting to the root source of why you even came here to this earth place in general. And so some of those tools, astrology, human design, Strengths Finder, the Briggs assessment test, these are different ways that you can look inside, and that is what I say to do that as the very first step. And then the next step will then be to match that to a need in the marketplace. And I have ways to also assess what the market is looking for, because it does change over time, and that is, the other side of defining the niche that you serve. But the big mistake that I see people make is looking outside of themselves, and there's a few other things that I find people get frustrated about when it comes to this area of choosing a niche that I want to give a little bit of voice to in this segment as well. And some of those things include that sometimes people get frustrated when they first, look at what the niche is, or maybe they look around, to find the things that they're interested in. And one of the things that can happen is that people get frustrated thinking that, well, everybody else is doing this already. Like there's a ton of people that are doing this already. And what you really want to have is this is what I say. You could agree or you could disagree with me around this, but I say what you really want is to have a confident state of mind. And Tony Robbins says that this is the very first thing, that your state of mind, your confidence in your state of mind. So when you're looking at, making these decisions about the niche to serve, where to focus your effort, well, avoid comparing yourself to other people, or avoid the thing that can happen. Like I said, when you look around and you think to yourself, it's a mindset thing. You're like, oh, there's so many people doing this, and there's so many people doing this better than I can do it. And what I say is that there is nobody that can do it exactly like you can. And in particularly, if you follow some of the things that I spoke about earlier, which is, going inside first. Because here's the thing, when it ultimately comes down to a client choosing to work with somebody, it is oftentimes what they choose is the feeling of resonance that they have with the person that they're being exposed to. And that is why a little further down the road of this process, that creating messaging that does share your story, that does share a little bit of why you're doing it, why it is that you chose this particular area to focus on, and that is the thing that will cause you to stand out and to have people feel like they resonate with your story. And here is one more thing before I finish up here, is people get frustrated sometimes when they, again, a mindset thing where they think to themselves, they're choosing a niche or they're thinking about creating a business, and they think, I'm either too old to be doing this thing, or you're thinking you're too young to do this thing. I'm either too old or I'm too young. And again, you want to focus when it comes to choosing the niche. Part of the niche focus is choosing a particular segment of the market, a particular type of person to work with. So, if you're younger, well, maybe it is young people that are going to most resonate with you, right? And if you're older, maybe it's older people or people your age that what the challenge is to overcome, again, whatever you choose to focus yourself, your niche on. And again, you want to serve somebody. Choose the niche, choose the type of person that you most resonate with. Don't try to serve or to choose to serve a niche of people that you don't resonate with, because that is not going to work so good. We want to be authentic, and the best way to be authentic in the choice of who to serve, that side of the niche equation, the best thing is to serve people and choose to serve people that you most resonate with. So that is what I got for you in this particular segment, and I would appreciate if you subscribe to the channel. Of course, that helps to get this message out to more people. And also give us a thumbs up, drop a comment down below. And finally, if you are deciding you're in this space where I really need to make some kind of a transition here, and I need to do something that I really enjoy doing, and you like what I've talked about in terms of creating maybe an online virtual stream of income, well, you can find a link somewhere down below this video that will connect to my calendar. And I offer an initial complimentary, just a brief 15-minute conversation, and I call it a Pivot to Purpose Clarity Call, because I've pivoted and reinvented my career a few times in my life, and I've become quite skilled at it, and can help you to navigate through this process of choosing the right foundation to base everything else on. Because the last thing I'll leave you with is the biggest frustration that I do see is people sometimes they find that people just don't get them, like they don't understand what it is that they're offering, and that usually is because this process of defining the niche and creating clarity around what you do and who you serve. If that initial foundation is not done, then everything else becomes kind of off kilter. And like I said, people don't understand what you do if you don't choose to focus in on one area, because it is very difficult and near impossible to be everything to all people. So that's what I got for you. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.